Joining me now from Munich is David Ignatius, foreign affairs columnist for The Washington Post. David, you've been at this since the early morning. The sun has set now in Munich. But what else do we know at this point about the meeting between President Zelensky and Vice President Vance?
So I think the clip that you just showed shows that today's meeting lowered the temperature. This had been quite an acrimonious several days with different positions from the Trump administration, sharp reactions from the Ukrainians. Listening to both Vance and Zelensky, you sense that people were trying to calm the situation. This is a period of pre-negotiation, not negotiation, but I was struck by Vance's use of the phrase "a durable peace," meaning it can't be so concessionary to President Putin that conflict erupts again while President Trump is president. You heard President Zelensky talk about his need for security guarantees, so he's confident that whatever the ceasefire line is, Russia won't just move across it and continue the war. So I thought that was a significant end to what's been a very tumultuous day. One of the points that everybody here is buzzing about is Vice President Vance's speech to the Munich Security Conference. It was so sharp and strident in its criticism of European failure, in his words, to live up to their democratic ideals. He at one point referred to Europeans as commissars, claimed that they were throttling the free speech rights of Europeans. Not at all what the people here were expecting from an American vice president. I heard some people compare it to the speech that Vladimir Putin made back in 2007, very strident declaration of Russia's interest, assertion of a new role in the world. Some people heard Vance's speech here in that same way, as a challenge to Europe, and one that was, for some Europeans, quite upsetting.
It's an absolutely striking parallel that you're drawing there, and one that comes as Europe is asking for a seat at the table here in this pre-negotiation phase. I wonder if you can talk about that, and then also the baggage that Vance himself, from his days in the Senate, brings to these conversations with the Ukrainians. He was no such fan of continued aid to the country.
So, Ali, Europeans are frightened by Vladimir Putin. They see a big, threatening army to their east. They see Ukraine valiantly standing up to Putin, and they're worried about the future. They're worried that if the United States abandons them to Russia, that they simply don't have the firepower to enforce a durable peace. So I heard today from a number of Europeans, on stage and off, concern about, is America still really ready to back us up? If we go into peace negotiations, is America going to be there as a guarantor? I think there's a feeling that this war is in a stalemate, that it's gone on for a terrible, bloody 3 years. I don't hear anybody saying it's not time for negotiations to see if you can get a settlement. But again and again, Europeans say if it's not a just settlement, it won't last, and it certainly won't protect the security of Europe.
Well, David Ignatius, it all portends whether or not we'll get the kind of just peace that you yourself wrote about to start the week as you were here in the United States and then, of course, heading to Munich. David Ignatius, no better person to help us break this down. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali.